What's going on, guys? Today I have an unboxing video for you of the GeForce GTX 760 from Gigabyte. This card packs Gigabyte's famous WindForce cooling design with the 3 fans and all the heat pipes and all that goodness. And I do want to say that even though this is a 700 series GTX card, this just came out not all that long ago, it is compatible 100% with OS X Mavericks. And that's the beauty about today's graphics cards. A lot of them work right out of the box within OS X. Provided you get the right card, the ones that Apple supports natively, there is no setup process, it just works, which is really cool. So I don't want to bore you guys with a long intro, so let's go ahead and unbox the card. So here we have the front of the GeForce GTX 760 from Gigabyte. A couple of the features they highlight on the front of the box here. This does pack that WindForce cooling system. Like I said, you guys will see that in just a minute. Also, this card is overclocked right out of the box. Most other 760s come with a core clock of 1006 MHz and a boost clock of 1072 MHz, where this card comes at a core clock of 1085 MHz and a boost clock of 1150 MHz. So it's definitely a nice little bump on the frequency there, help you get you some more performance. Also, this card is an overclock guru, which means you can do more overclocking yourself. This card does feature 2048 megabytes or 2 gigabytes of GDDR5 memory. So those are a couple of the features they highlight right out of the box there. This card also does pack some CUDA cores. I'll get a little bit more into that later for you content producers out there. But right now, I'll just show you around the box a little bit more. Sorry for that light reflection. On the back here, here's where they talk a little bit more about that WindForce cooling system, the direction airflows, and all that good stuff. A couple more features, a bunch of languages. But for now, let's rip open this box. So Gigabyte's pulling some boxception on us. We have a black box within a box. This box here has the Gigabyte branding, so that's all well and good. Moving into the inside of the box, we have the foam surrounded card itself. So here's the card. I'm going to go ahead and put that off to the side for just a minute. Now in here, we have a half of a box within a box within a box. So it's just a little Gigabyte branded piece of cardboard there. Now here we have, this is an 8-pin to Molex, so if you have an older power supply, you should probably upgrade because this card does require 500 watts, but if you maybe just out of SATA power connectors and all you have is Molex, then here's an adapter for you. Also, I believe they have a 6-pin. So you have a 6-pin and an 8-pin because this card does require those 2 connections, one 6 and one 8. So that's 4 Molex that you will need, or just these 2 power connectors if you have those right from your power supply. Which, if you do, save these for a rainy day because I have found these to come in very handy, for older builds and for builds that are full, things like that. So if you don't need those, do save them. Now here's a graphics card quick guide, which I'm not very interested in. And here's the drivers for Windows, but this is going to be used in a Hackintosh build, so once again, save those for a very rainy day. It would have to be pouring. So we're going to go ahead and move this box to the side and get more into the card. After touching the metal legs on my desk here to try to get rid of any static electricity, here is the card itself. Now the first thing is like, holy fans. That's once again part of that WindForce cooling system. Pretty much all Gigabyte cards have this, of the the higher end cards. Pretty much all the Gigabyte cards do have this system. It's a combination of heat pipes, as you can see right there, heat spreaders, and these fans, which actually take in air and is blown out through all these little heat spreaders and heat sinks and all that stuff right there. So putting the cooling system aside, let's just go ahead and review some specs really quick. Like I said, this guy has a core clock of 1085 megahertz and a boost clock of 1150 megahertz. In terms of CUDA cores, this has 1152 CUDA cores, which isn't the biggest amount of CUDA cores that have ever been shipped on an Nvidia card, but for the content producers out there, that will pack a nice punch if you're using the Adobe suite, things like Premiere and Photoshop. Those will really help get those render times down. We do have 2 gigabytes of GDDR5 memory with this card, so there's definitely more than enough space there for some multiple monitors and some pretty intensive applications to be running as well. Moving to the back here for port configurations, I'll go ahead and take these little blue covers off. We have 2 DVI, 1 HDMI, and 1 DisplayPort. This is basically the new standard in OS X and I believe in Windows. With the latest drivers from Nvidia included in the OS, I believe you can have all 4 of these outputting video simultaneously, which is very nice. Up here we have our SLI fingers. I could be wrong about this because I'm not much of a gaming guy, but I believe this card does support up to 3-way SLI, which is going to be nice for you guys that are gaming. But even in OS X, you can have 3 of these cards simultaneously. You just won't SLI them, but that will allow you to have, in theory, up to 12 displays, which is just be ridiculous. But if you want to, that option is there. And the last part of the card here, we have the power. This does require 1 6-pin and 1 8-pin power connector. Like I said, this card does need a 500 watt or greater power supply. So if you're coming from like a 400 or 450 watt power supply, you're definitely going to want to upgrade that to have room for the rest of your components in conjunction with this card. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys for the unboxing and overview of the GeForce GTX 760 from Gigabyte. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm at CPU Kid on Twitter. Also be sure to check out RocheTechnology.com and be sure to let me know what kind of content you want to see about this guy.